This large yellow flower is absolutely beautiful, isn't it? It belongs to the cat's claw creeper. It gets its name from these distinctive three-branched claw-like tendrils. It's finished flowering here, but it's covering the ground, climbing up the trees. I'm absolutely surrounded by it. Because of the attractive flowers, it was collected from its native tropical South America and introduced as an ornamental in many parts of the world. And you guessed it, it's become a shocking weed, invading large parts of Africa, India, New Zealand, the Cook Islands and Australia. Why is cat's claw such a shocker? To find out, I've come to the Upper Brookfield catchment area, 40 minutes west of Brisbane. Adrian Webb volunteers with the Moggill Creek Catchment Group.
All these vines, there's so much here that could be saved that's important. Cat's claw has so many advantages. It's one of those groups of weeds that loves to climb. When it gets up there, if they're there for a while, it smothers the trees. We call them canopy killers. It's particularly bad from Sydney north in southeast Queensland, going right through up to Mackay, Rockhampton.
And what are the implications for biodiversity when it takes root?
Not good. We'll lose a lot of wildlife and a lot of species, a lot of plants and animals. And you can see this in collapsed areas.
So what we're seeing here is regrowth of cat's claw creeper after you've done some control work.
Yeah, that's right. All the damage here is from the earlier big infestation, and this is all regrowth since we killed the vines going up a lot of these trees a few years back. And there's this big collapse. So we got this one falling down here, and things climbing up to the next tree, and so we're going to get a progression of this.
It's like one goes and then it's dominoes.
Yep.
Like many difficult weeds, cat's claw has great survival strategies.
Right, well, there are two main ones. One is the seed production right up at the top there, and they're moved kilometres during really windy times, and they float. They'll go down the creeks. They don't have to be in the soil. As long as they're in mulch, leaf litter, something like this, they will strike. In this eroded sort of area here are these tubers. All these cat's claw vines you can see along here have tubers underneath them, and from a very young age you'll get them that sort of size, and often there's a root about this long below it, and then you'll find another one. So even if you go around digging and pulling them up, you think you've got them all, it's unlikely.
So you have to keep killing the vine in order to exhaust the tubers.
Yes, that's right. Yes, it can go on a long time.
Once cat's claw has invaded, removing it takes a lot of work. Thin vines are pulled off the tree and sprayed with herbicide. Thicker vines have a 1 metre or so section cut away near the ground, and then the stumps are sprayed or painted with herbicide.
Our main objective is to concentrate on that to start with, and then where we get opportunities, we will deal with what's down on the ground. And that can take years of follow-up spraying to try and finally exhaust the tubers that are there.
A lot of you at home will be thinking, what about biological controls? Kay DeLepen is with Biosecurity Queensland.
As you would know, cat's claw is not native to Australia. As a result, we don't have any natural enemies to keep them under check. So our objective is to go back to the country where they come from, look for specialist natural enemies like insect or pathogen, which can attack only on cat's claw. We do a lot of testing, make sure it doesn't attack anything else, and after so much research, we release them in Australia. We released 3 agents. Yeah, as you can see, this is one of the agents, a leaf mining beetle, and it's widespread now, established everywhere, but it's not reaching the population level at the level we want them to have. The second agent we released them is a leaf-sucking tingid. It's a very small insect, and it has not reached a level what we want them to do. The third agent is leaf-tying moth. It's a very destructive insect, but the good news is they're spreading much faster along the river, and hopefully they will spread everywhere, and the population will go up level.
Dileepan is also looking at 2 fungal pathogens.
One of the agents is shown to be very effective in controlling cat's claw in South Africa. And if proven specific, these 2 agents will complement the 3 insects so that they put a lot of pressure on cat's claw to bring to lower level.
Prickly pear is a classic example of successful biological control of a weed pest. It was introduced to Australia as early as the First Fleet, eventually escaping into agricultural land, rendering millions of acres useless. But once the South American insect Cactoblastis cactorum was bred up and introduced in the 1920s, the march of the prickly pear was stopped and then reversed. There's a lot of people around the world hoping a similar magic bullet can be found to control cat's claw. While we wait for a biological control to be developed, the onus is on volunteers like Adrian and his group.
It's really important that community and a government and everybody works together. It's really important for the future and for the kids. You know, there are a lot of things that will be lost if we don't get rid of it, and it means starting now.
Check our website to find out more.